Hello everyone, welcome to 2026 August Camp Academic Training. Uh, First, let's go over the calendar. It's a perfect 4-week schedule. So Tuesday is the field trip. It's a 16-day camp for us, with the first 2 weeks being the nature quest and the last 2 weeks being just desserts. Now, let's talk about Nature Quest first. This is a rerun camp, with the camp features being the survival skills, camping skills, and outdoor fun. Okay, so let's go deeper into these features and I'll explain what they are about. First of all, just some photos of the past activity highlights. Camp scene decor is a major element in this camp. Now the goal is on the first day to second day, you have 2 days to decorate your classroom and your school into this whole camping atmosphere. Okay, so that means we have the wall design that looks like a camp. Sorry, looks like a tent, and we also have the wild outdoor elements like this picture here. And we also have the camping fire. Students will be making them together. Each of them can own their own campfire. And of course, teacher can make one for the entire classroom, like the picture showing here. There's also the tent building challenge. It's all about precision and speed. So students will be challenging each other in teams to try and set up the tent as fast as they can. Of course, they have to set it up correctly as well. So what we're looking for are these very simple pop-up tents, so that we don't have to put nails on floor. Okay, and then of course it's cooking. What's camping without cooking? There is the classic s'mores and one pot meal. Now, you'll be seeing s'mores a lot in August because we have a s'mores cooking here, and then there's another one in just desserts. One pot meal is traditionally for more like a leftover meal, kind of. It's basically putting what you have in your bag into the pot. Traditionally, it's what the campers eat when they're trying to finish everything they have, so they don't have to carry it with them when they go down, when they climb down the mountain. So it's from that context. That's how we make the one pot meal, meaning that we're using a lot of the canned food. However, if you feel that this is not healthy enough, we can also use fresh vegetables to your liking. Okay, either way is fine, but the essence of one pot meal is actually canned food. Now, Bigfoot Mysteries, another is the Bigfoot Mysteries. We'll be talking about what Bigfoot's what is a Bigfoot, and also some urban legends surrounding that topic, and some movies made portraying the Bigfoot. Now, because we don't have time to show the excuse me, to show the entire movie, so I'll give you just clips to show the students. Now, there's also the survival and camping skills. So for survival and camping skills, students are learning what to eat in the wild, what not to eat in the wild. There are some myths and facts about like the survival skills that we hear very often, okay, or see very often online, and also the rope knots tying skills. If you done the para camp before, you will find this very familiar. Okay, now campfire tunes and story, and that's another part of the camp that's kind of like the highlights, where students will be singing songs together, reading stories, and then telling scary stories. Now, The next camp, oh sorry, before I move on to the next camp, I want to go through the Padlets to show you some new changes I added and also how you can proceed with the camp. Now, if you don't have the printed the THB, you can take a look at the digital copy. Now, I'm gonna move to the Padlet. This is the Nature Quest Padlet Beginner. Now, as you can see here, the first column is camping ASMR videos and for recess. The whole idea of this camp is to create the whole scene and atmosphere. So during recess or during, for example, like as you're making the crafts or decorating the classroom, you can play this on the big screen so that it feels, it makes the whole atmosphere feel more, you know, more camping-like. Okay. Oh, I can play this video. I will fix some of the hot links. Some of the links were okay before, but now they blocked it for some reason. Now this kind of video doesn't have any words. Sometimes it will have even subtitles that showing what the campers do. There are a lot of videos. And of course, there are some videos I prepared for camping dangers. These are real videos. They're not AI made. So you can take a look. Hold on. Oh, okay. I'm gonna upload that video there. Okay. So there's quite a lot of videos that you can show. Okay, I prepare a lot of the videos. Okay. There's camping the snow, camping the rain, and also some camping danger like what should you do when the bear attacks. This of course connects to the lesson. Okay, there's one day that we're talking about the survival skills, especially like what we should do when we encounter bears. In the camp lessons, it actually just talks about like not running but backing away. There's actually different ways of dealing with different types of bears. There's the grizzly bear, and there's also the black bear, Asian black bear, which are tinier, you know, they're smaller, and usually you can scare them off with loud sounds, okay? But for grizzly bear, that doesn't work. So, so there are different ways, you know, how we can do this. You know, of course, like what not to do, like not to play dead, okay? That works for some bears, but playing dead also actually works for specific type of bear. Okay, there's only in the video that it only talks about if you see a polar bear, just run, because polar bear are like much bigger than grizzly bear and black bear. Okay, and nothing will work on them unless you have like a bear spray. So we have a warm-up game in Bamboozle for you guys. This is a very relaxing camp. So we have videos, of course, and camping vocabulary on word wall, and some games for you to play. This is a sorting game so that the kids can sort the camping items into things they bring, things they make, and things they, you know, things they bring, things they make, and for example, like let me show you. Things we find, okay, some things you gather in the wild, like water, for example. And of course, let's get to I can't click this. I'm gonna drag it to the bottom here. Okay. And of course, there is the camping vocabulary. If you click it, there's a flashcard for you to teach the words. Okay, so and also the survival handbook here, and then the song for The Day I Met the Bear. This is the video. Okay, and of course I put it in the worksheets for printing. Okay, and there's one that's online, so you can play the song and show the lyrics. Okay, all right. But
The other day.
okay, it's better to just give them the lyrics, of course. The songs are very simple, and there's also the glowing campfire example for them to see. Okay, to show them what it looks like. There are different versions, different variations. Okay, and there's also the instructions on how to make them, and also signpost, door, wall example. What it looks like. Some of these photos are found online. Some of them are actually old pictures from our past camp. Like these were made by our students before. Okay. These are examples from the internet, but these are actual photos that our teachers made. So they provide some ideas of how you can make the door. I really like this. It's like the children are crossing over to a different realm or something. And this decoration is also very easy to make, but it makes the whole different, like it makes the classroom experience different. And this is what our teachers made before. In case you're wondering what this is, some people said it was a volcano. It does look like that, but actually it was a campfire. So some teachers, thought the campfire can look like, the volcano. And then some other classroom decoration. This almost looks like a Christmas tree, just so you know, which is funny. Okay, so now we watch some examples, so you have some ideas how to make them, and then instructions on how to measure a tree. A lot of the lessons I've converted them into PPT, like how tall is that tree? Okay, how to measure the tree, for example. Close some tabs. Okay, and worksheets. So basically, you're learning a new tune every 2 new tunes a week, I think. Yes. So on the first day and on the third day, which is Thursday, and then starting next week, we have myths and facts. This is a lesson plus Kahoot. So I would say you can host live, but host it like a lecture. I'm going to show you how. I'm going to log in. You can log in with your own Kahoot account to use this link. So what you're going to do is you're going to lecture. You can select this. there's an option here. It works like a normal Kahoot, but they will provide you more functions so that it will make it easier for you to teach the slides. Okay, so I'm just gonna start. Okay, so it looks like this. So you can go, so that gives you the function of going back and forth. Okay, and then there's this. Okay, and you can skip the timer. Okay, so this is the correct answer. Okay, all right, so you've seen this. I'm going to close it, turn it off. Okay, so now you know how to do a lecture. I think that works best with a lecture. And then there's some Common Camp notes here. Also a lesson slide for you to teach, provided with the videos on how to do them and instructions. The beginners and intermediate do different knots, just so you know. Okay, and then campfire tunes again. And then day 2 we have the mysterious Bigfoot, which is a Canva link talking about Bigfoot. Okay, so there's also a video here for you to show. This is an actual footage, so you can play this. When you enter this slide, it will play. This is the actual footage. Of course, they make it high definition, so it used to be very blurry. And then some clips. These videos I actually dubbed with subtitles, so it's easier for kids to read.
Oh! You're dead, snitch.
Okay. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't have done that. My bad. Okay. Let me open this up again. So you can see here, there are videos here. And then there's the campfire story, which is the video, the Harry Joe. And then the Harry Toe, I'm so sorry, Harry Toe. And then the Yellow Ribbon and Mr. Sullivan. These are all scary movies, but I found online they look less scary. Okay, so you can show the kids. But honestly, if your kids can't really take this, just stop the story. Okay, so we have the Son of Bigfoot, Smallfoot video here. They're all dubbed. And then how to set up camping doors. There's also a video showing you how to do that. But definitely, I think the staff and teachers should work together and do a test run. Okay, make sure that the teacher knows the steps, so it doesn't feel like they're also a novice at doing the setting up the camp. And then there's the classroom camp examples for you to see. I've made all the examples online, but also on for you to display to kids. Of course, they're in the lesson plan as well, but I think the ones in color looks best, right? Okay, so and one pot meal, of course. And lastly, on the last day, there's a presentation. So let me explain what the presentation is. Basically, you can have the kids do one of the 3 things. Number 1 is to sing the tune together. They can pick a tune and then they sing the tune together. And you can have a scary story contest so that you can turn off the lights, have the kids use the campfire they made on day 1, and then they talk about a scary story that they made themselves. That's another. Or the scary stories that you told already. For example, the scary toe. Okay, the hairy toe. I'm so sorry. The hairy toe. You can have them retell those scary stories. Another thing is to devise a camping plan, like writing down exactly what they need to bring, where they will go, what they will do, the whole plan. That's also a presentation. So the presentation means one of the three, okay? So they can present that. So it's to demonstrate their affinity to any aspect of camping that they like, they enjoy, or to show off what they have learned in this camp. Now, I've also provided a little game for you to play, as it could be a warm-up, or it could be after the presentation. If you still have time, you can play this. Beginners and intermediate play different games. Beginners will do, this is called the Ultimate Dream Campsite game, okay? So basically, it's a game that, let's say the students have unlimited amount of money, okay? They can choose what kind of tents they want. So we have tarp, pop-up, A-frame, dome, car camping tent, tunnel, large family camp. You can actually see them in Triathlon, okay? I mean the store, okay? The tippy bell glamping tent, the rooftop vehicle. They can pick whatever they want. For example, if I pick the trailer camper, okay, and then there's the money in New Taiwanese dollar. Just so you know, if you think that this is unrealistic, I have to tell you honestly though, I remember a few years back in Neihu Costco, they actually had 2 RVs on display in the eating area, and Taiwanese people bought them, and I think they were sold for like 2 million in Taiwanese dollars, and they were sold in 14 days. So a lot of rich people who will buy this. Yes, okay. So it's not impossible. It's just that it's not a normal sight for people. Okay, and then there's the sleeping bag they have to choose. There's a very basic foam sleeping pad, an inflatable one. Okay, and let's say if I pick the 3-season sleeping bag, okay, and that adds the price to it. And then there's the cooking and food. For example, I might not want to do the disposable. I want to be fancy. I want to bring my ice box. I want to bring my burner camp stove. Yes, you can. As you can see, you're not limited to one choice. You can choose different things, but keep it realistic. Okay. For example, if they pick a tent, they're not going to pick another RV. Okay. They're not going to pick all of them. Now, lighting and power, and there's also the light. So light is definitely right. They need a small LED flashlight. They probably need the rechargeable camp lantern. Definitely the power bank, and some fancy ones might even pick a large power station so they can maybe play their projectors. Camp comfort and furniture, and of course deluxe camping chair is a must. Portable heater, probably. Storage organizer. As you can see, the price just keep ranking up here. Okay, and then there's the entertainment. You might want to play a board game. You might want to bring your Switch. I don't know. Could be free because you already own the Switch, right? Okay, so anyway, definitely projector, right? So totally amounts to, okay, 126,230 Taiwanese dollars. Okay, that's your total amount. So it's basically telling them that your ultimate dream campsite, this is what it looks like. Okay, and okay, so now you know what it looks like, and let's go to the intermediate. Intermediate is exactly the same as the beginner, okay, as you can see. But the lessons, of course, I adjusted them. So for example, even for the myth and facts, I made them different as well. The mysterious Bigfoot, for example, for this lesson slide, I did, of course, adjustments. So the language itself is more suitable for our students. There's more text for them to read, but they're not, especially difficult or something. Also more vocabulary words, as you can see here. And everything is almost the same. The movies are the same as well. But the story is a little bit different. You see the green ribbon, a clown statue, a vanishing hitchhiker, okay? So some of these stories are pretty scary, okay? If you don't want to show them videos, you can learn to tell these scary stories yourself, provided that you remember them. Now, I want to go to our Ultimate Camping Challenge. I know some of you will have questions on the day of the teacher's training, but I just want to show you how it works here. First, for the staff. So basically, the Camping Challenge game is like this. The trip plan, okay? So the campsite is random. If you press a new game, you will get a different campsite, okay? So it gives you some clue. It's near a river. It's 26 degrees Celsius. It will rain a lot, okay? So now you need to choose a tent. So what kind of tent would you choose? A lightweight mesh tent with rain fly. For hot weather, as a floor that stops things from the ground. 4-season expedition tent. For very cold weather and strong wind, keeps you warm. Heavy-duty waterproof cabin tent. Very good for rain. It is big inside. It can keep you dry. So I'm thinking that because a lot of rain, we might want to pick this one. Okay. Yes, and there is a correct choice in this game. Okay. And next, you need to pick 5 items. It's near the river. It's very wet, right? And it's raining, so you might want to have a raincoat. Okay. You might want to have a board game, of course. Portable stove. You want to cook food, okay? Maybe a cooler. You can pick 5 items, okay? And then I think there should be raw food, right? Where's raw food? Okay, so I'm gonna see my score. Oh, I got 6 out of 6. Okay, perfect. Okay, I got the perfect score. Now, and of course, there's correct answers. You don't always get the correct answer. So, for example, if this is in the forest, 10 degrees Celsius, bear warning, I don't choose the warm. It should choose this one. It's good to keep me warm. I'm gonna choose this. And I'm gonna choose random stack of stuff. See, I'm a trail starter. You found some good gear. A little more planning will help. Okay, so you can see here, and you press new game. So now this is a fun game because you can play them over and over again for kids to do it. Okay. All right, so we finished with the nature quest. Now let's go back to the slide. I'm going to talk about just desserts. Now, desserts camp is very straightforward. Our camp this time, it used to be a 4-day camp. I expanded it to 8 days and of course gave it more organized theme plan. So every day we're going to talk some aspect about the desserts. For example, day 1 we're going to talk about what are desserts. Day 2 talk about measurements. Day 3 talk about types of desserts. Day 4 talks about science of sweets. So the desserts that we'll be making on those days, on each day, is actually related to the theme. For example, what are desserts? So we talk about what desserts are, and then we start with the basic desserts, honey butter toast. Very easy to make, and beginner and intermediate, I will explain later, but I designed the cooking so that they don't use the same cooking tools at the same time. For example, honey butter toast requires a baking oven, so that means intermediate will be something different, okay? Which I can show you. Intermediate is actually banana French toast roll-ups, and this uses a pan, a frying pan, okay? So hopefully this will solve some of the problems that you might have at the branches, which is you can't be using the same cooking tools at the same time. First of all, electricity, you might fry your outlets. Second of all, I strongly suggest don't use an electromagnetic oven. Use a gas stove, those portable ones, okay? They're fairly safe to use. And the most important of all, they don't use electricity, so that you don't have to worry about your outlets so often, okay? Now, there's also chocolate chip cookies. This one uses pan fry. It's a different recipe. So making a chocolate chip cookies actually requires students to learn how to measure and what those measurements are. What is a teaspoon? What is a tablespoon? How to measure desserts, which is with a scale, okay? And then types of desserts, we talk about tart being one of the type of desserts, okay? And the science of sweets, we talk about baking powder, how it reacts, how we uses the baking powder or baking soda in some recipes. We use the chemistry of baking powder or soda, which is to release carbon dioxide, and the carbon dioxide will make the texture of our sweets taste different, which is such as brownie. It has the very fluffy, and airy type of texture. And then see the s'more sandwich again. Both Nature Quest and Just Desserts made this, okay? But they all use candles, tea candles, okay? So for tea candles, one thing you need to watch out is that the marshmallows burn very, very quickly. So you should keep the marshmallows at a distance from the candle flame, and you need to keep it rolling at all times so that all sides are evenly, heated. It doesn't char or burn very quickly. And also we're making rose puff pastry. There's also videos. I provided videos and recipes for you to see, and also serving, so you understand. You can calculate how much you have to prepare for each class. And coconut for festival desserts, we talk about different festivals around the world, and then we introduced coconut laddu. And sweets and body, we talk about how sugar affects our body, and then we make an unsweetened apple cake. This one is gluten-free as well. There's no starch in there. We only use apples and eggs, okay, in this cooking, okay, so there's no starch involved. Now, for intermediate, banoffee French toast roll-ups, okay, use pan fry, and this one uses the baking oven. If you remember, the beginner use a pan fry chocolate chip cookies, so they use different tools. Butterscotch cookies, classic. And then sticky mango rice. A lot of you might be wondering, if you've ever eaten it before, you might be wondering how we can make this in 1 hour or during the class period. This we can I found a recipe that we can fasten the process, and we can make this in 1.5 hours. So this will be a fun thing to do, and it's delicious. It's the perfect season for mango. You can find the yellow mango like this in the market right now. I've seen them around lately. They're the yellow long mango, which is different from the red ones that we normally see in Taiwan. Okay, And the Melva pudding is a very good dessert, but there's a lot of procedures to making it. Okay, the video itself, just a little warning. I think there are some, unsuitable innuendos of the speaker as he was trying to make the dish, but it's not strong enough that I will call it, don't show this to the kids because the kids won't understand. But for us, the English speakers, we can tell he's implying something, but try not to explain it, okay? The reason you might be wondering why I keep this video is because I can't find other videos of making Melva pudding more detailed and more, better than this one, okay? So I think the kids, I can definitely guarantee that the kids won't get it, okay? But just don't over-explain, okay? Don't try to tell, oh, why is he saying this? It's because, don't over-explain it. Now, Brazilian brigadeiro, this one is very delicious. I made them myself. Apple pie, this is used the toast to make the wrapping, which is incredible because I didn't know how well it could work. And the daifuku mochi, this one uses the microwave oven to get the mochi powder to form in the bowl. And lastly, sweetened body, we have unsweetened banana souffle. This one also is it's gluten-free. You only use the eggs, but we know how souffle makes, so there is also how the egg white works, okay? The texture itself, I would say it tastes probably closer to an omelet than a souffle, but the texture itself is closer to a souffle. Now, I will now show you the Padlet so we can see for ourselves. I'm gonna turn off these tabs so that it doesn't slow down my computer. Okay, so every day we have a lesson. You can see some of the arrangements look different from the outlines because as I was writing the lesson plan, I noticed that some of them requires preparation, which should start at the beginning of the class. So that's why I moved some of the stuff around, which I'm sure the staff will review and do it themselves again. Okay, it's not that. I know that you guys didn't do it because you don't like my lesson plans. I know you guys do it because there's certain arrangements that you do and prefer for your teachers, which is natural. Okay, now, so I'm gonna show you what the lesson slide looks like. Now the lesson slide looks like this. Okay, it's very cute. I love the style of the food. Okay, it's very easy for beginner. Okay, talks about what desserts are. Okay, and some tastes words to help students describe the desserts that they will be tasting. And of course, there's the measurements. Okay. Measurements, it talks about, okay, liquid or wet food, dry food, if you want to use simpler vocabulary. And how do we measure them? We use teaspoon, tablespoon, and of course cups, measuring cups, okay? And when we talk about CC too, in other countries, CC isn't used in cooking, but in Taiwan, for some reason, CC is. You hear CC all the time. CC's cubic centimeters is used in physics and chemistry, but not usually in cooking. So 1 CC is 1 milliliter, just so you know. So they are interchangeable. They're the same, okay? And so there's also, getting the kids to learn these acronyms, okay, so they understand. Now, going back, There's the video for the cooking, and there's also the recipe, okay? And there's also the worksheets for you to use, and it's a very straightforward camp, so I do not expect you encounter too many problems other than finding the right ingredients, okay? As you can see, I really adjusted the language so that the lesson content is suitable, and yeah, it talks about different science with cooking, how we use heat, how we use, you know, melting or setting or bubbles, okay? These are simple words to explain these chemistry related vocabulary, okay? Now, of course, you can go deeper if you want, okay? But at this time, let's just keep it simple for them, okay? You'll be pretty busy every day making these desserts. I have to say, I think the kids will gain like 10 pounds after this camp because it's like delicious cooking every day. Just writing the lesson plan makes my mouth water already. Okay, so in the festival, we talk about Asia, we talk about the Moon Festival. I didn't specify this to be Chinese because, as you know, Moon Festival is celebrated in many countries with Asian communities. They call it different names, all right? So we have Christmas as well, the Three Wise Men. This is a French thing. It's not American. I don't believe Americans eat king's cake. At least I don't remember doing that in the States. And of course, in Mexico, we have the Pan de Muerto. Okay. And Diwali, they have the coconut laddu, which is what we're gonna eat. They actually eat another thing during Diwali, but we do coconut laddu because this is easy to make. Okay, the other one is actually deep fried, so we don't talk about that. And there's also the Thailand Water Festival. I wouldn't say this is only eaten during the Water Festival. It's quite a common dessert nowadays. So I'm just putting it here to get the kids, to get the exposure to bring the exposure to the kids. So, okay. And for intermediate, not much changes. I'm sorry, click on the wrong one. Not much changes for intermediate. Oh, wrong one again. As you can see, the layout is exactly the same. Not much changes. The camp itself can be an independent camp for each day. Of course, the topic themselves are not connected to each other. They can be taught separately. So I don't think teachers need to worry about, like, if the kids didn't come yesterday or last week, they might have trouble understanding it. That shouldn't be a problem. And lastly, I want to talk about the grammar in action phase 2. I know for some branches they're doing that. The phase 2 layout is exactly the same, okay? And there's a daily bamboozle. I will put up the review homework when I'm done. Okay, so this is in a work in process, but in progress, I'm sorry. But I've finished all of them, I think. Okay, so you can use them. You can check them out, check the Padlet out. Okay, and that's it for my academic training. August camp has always been very straightforward and simple, especially this year with camping and cooking being our themes. So I hope that was clear enough. And on the day of teacher training, we will spend an hour on Nature Quest and an hour on just desserts. Okay, I'll see you then.